Alright, as if I needed another project. This one's been here for about 4 months. I hadn't talked about it. I've been working on the green Silverado, but this one is this one's on the back burner for right now. It's only got 87,000 original miles on it. We bought it from a guy that goes to school with my son. It's sat up for a while. It's almost brand new tires, but they're dry rotting, so we're going to have to get some new tires for it. They're expensive. That's a 50 series tire. It's got T-tops. Excuse me. Now the hood, it's not the original. We don't like it. We've got a OEM one. This thing's got to be painted anyway. So we got an OEM one that's correct for the Z-28, which it is. And then somebody put this ugly ass hatch on the back. It's only got a little tiny window. You can't see nothing out of the back of this thing. I don't like it. So it's going to get removed. May try to sell it. Some of you may appreciate that. I honestly don't. Let's see. Something they did on these things is they put these Z-28 badges where you can't hardly tell it's a Z-28. We've got some different ones from, I think it's a 2014 to 2021 or 20. No, 2014 to 2020. That's right. We've got some different ones. They're chrome and got some red on it. It's going to look good. But it didn't have any rust. Paint scratched up a little bit. Got a little tiny dent right there. We got one right here that you can't see. That may pop out from the bottom side. Alright, let me open this thing up. We can look at the interior. Alright, being it's only got 87,000 miles, the interior's in really good shape. Now, the seat's got a little bit of staining on it, but it doesn't look like it's anything serious. I'll clean that out. But the back seat's pristine. We got to put a headliner in it. That's fallen out, which is to be expected for the year. Carpet, really good shape. I vacuumed it out. It kind of looks dirty on the camera lens here. We'll see what it looks like whenever I upload it. It was missing some few interior parts. A knee bolster, I bought one. And then right here where the radio goes, it was gone, so I had to buy one of those. It had a radio that was poorly installed. And the defroster, rear window defroster switch was gone. I was able to get one of those. That wasn't a problem. This thing is in great shape. I mean, it is pretty inside. No wear on the seats. You'd expect the bolster right here to be wore out, but it's not. It looks good. Now, I haven't detailed anything. All I've done is vacuumed. I haven't wiped out anything as far as the plastics or anything like that, but it looks really good. The T-top seals are in great shape. Nice and flexible. Now, that don't mean it ain't going to leak, because T-tops always leak, but this is not going to be driven in the rain. It's always going to be covered up. Keep it nice and pristine, but it's got to be cleaned up. There's a lot of dirt in here. We got sand out here that got on it, but it's going to be nice. And the door's shut pretty good. Close right up. All right, in the back, it's also in good shape. Carpet and everything. I got parts in here. Got everything covered up. Some of the interior parts. This had a Bose head unit in it, but it got replaced, and I can't find one. And this got the Bose tuned port. Of course, the speaker's missing, but I think that's about a 6-inch speaker, so I'm going to buy me a 6-inch subwoofer. And down below here, I'm going to put me like a 150 watt amp, 200 watt amp, and wire that in. It's got a power antenna. I've got that taken out. It was bad, so we could cover it up. But I haven't vacuumed back here. So and of course the prop rods are worn out on this. This thing back here is pretty heavy. Spare tire and the jack was all complete. Now the tire is way past its age, so I'll have to get a new donut tire put on it. This cover here, go from here to here, was missing, but I found a guy online, it's Hawks, that sells Camaro parts, and they're reasonable. Alright, let's go to the motor. Alright, being a Z-28, this thing's been sitting up. The gas, it just smells like lacquer, and we got to drop the tank, put a new fuel pump in it, and I think I'm going to pull the injector rails off, and I'm going to take those injectors. I imagine they're all good, but they're probably lacquered up, so I'm going to clean them in a ultrasonic cleaner, and then I'm going to spray carburetor cleaner through it. I'll put some voltage on it, open them and close them until I get a good spray pattern, and reinstall them, because you can buy a set of the O-rings and seals for the top and the bottom. That's only about 20 bucks, and it's a OEM AC Delco part. But it's got that LT1 engine. They're known for running real good and fast, but this thing is shoehorned in here. It is stupid crazy to try to change plugs and plug wires, which somebody's already done. And somebody had put on the front of these, they call it an OptiSpark. It's a distributor. It sits right behind the stupid water pump. They leak. Those OptiSparks leak and they go bad. They are infamous for that, but you know, people have got ways to you vent the cap and keep moisture out of it. And they, with all the history on it, I've watched a lot of videos, and there are ways to keep these things working out a lot better. We are going to put an electric water pump on it. That eliminates the shaft that goes from the back of it through the OptiSpark and into the front. The front of the cam drives it. So we're going to put an electric one on there. And when we pull that off, I'm going to replace the cap. This is a brand new OptiSpark in it. I'm going to replace the cap and put a passive ventilation system on it. I got a brand I'm going to use. I can't think of it right now, but it's kind of dirty. Alternator's rusted up. Like I said, it's been sitting up a real long time. I went ahead and pulled the ignition control module off. I wanted to see that. We already got a new coil for it. It looks kind of old. And I don't know why they put that ignition control module right up against the head. Now this bolts here hold the bracket on. I'm going to put a spacer behind it, a couple of half-inch spacers or whatever fits the 3/8, and it's going to bring it off the head so there's a little bit of air gets back behind it, and then that heat sink that goes on there will have, I think, have a better chance of keeping the ignition control module cooler. Now I got the air snorkel off, but you can see how this aluminum is just oxidized, but it comes off real easy. I think if I get a cleaner on it and do a little bit agitating with it, it'll be good. But I like these excuse me, I like these year Camaros. They're only going up in value. We got a pretty good deal on it, knowing it's going to need a paint job and a fuel pump. And this one here, I can't show you, but the exhaust pipe sits, not say the exhaust pipe, but the muffler sits right up there underneath the gas tank, and you have to drop that rear muffler to get to it. So whenever we drop the fuel tank, I'm going to mark it, and I'm going to cut me a access underneath here, so I don't have to drop the fuel tank anymore for fuel pumps. You mark it right, cut it out properly, you put you some flanges on it so you can mount it down. It'll work out good. So that'll be the first place we're going to start. Then we'll have to clean the gas tank out, full lacquer. I'm going to put some kind of cleaner in there and a bunch of marbles and roll that thing around, clean it out real good, put a new fuel pump in it, and get it back up in there. Alright, but this interior is just crazy clean. I just, and I like the way the cockpit's set up in it. It's kind of like a Corvette. These were almost as fast as Corvettes, but GM detuned this engine a little bit so they wouldn't be as fast as a Corvette, because the Corvette and the Impalas from those years had the exact same motor in them. And those Impalas were pretty quick, so I know it's going to be fast with this smaller, lighter car here. So this is going to be fun to drive. I'm going to look forward to this, but this is a back burner project. We'll just do what we can when we're ready. And an idiot must have had it. He bent this bracket up to get a battery in here, and this is where your hood adjuster goes. So I got a MAP gas bottle. I'm going to heat this up and try to get that thing back where it needs to go. And we're going to paint underneath here, across here, and get it all painted up real nice. And it's got glass lenses for the headlights, but there's a bulb that goes in the back of it, so it's not plastic. You don't have to worry about those fogging up. Alright, let me show something else. Let me go to the next thing. Alright, let me show you what we're going to put in lieu of these bits. These are period correct, but I don't like them on a black paint job. They look good on the white ones, the red ones, but we decided this is the one we're going to put. It's about the same size, and I think that'll look a lot better. And like I said, it's not the correct year, but these are metal, and I think they look good. They weren't cheap, but that's okay. Let me show you what we're putting on the back. Again, it's black, but you can see the Chevrolet badge. I can't find that Chevrolet badge. I can find those in black. I'm just not going to put them on there. So we're going to take that off. What we're going to replace it with is this one here. This is another metal one. It's flexible, so it'll go around that curve. But I think that'll look okay on the back. Not period correct again, but that's okay. I think that's going to look sweet right there. Alright, here's the stock hood. It I think came from Arizona or California somewhere, but we got to paint it, but it's not rusted. Not rusted at all. We'll pull these out when it gets painted. But this is the proper Z-28 hood for it. So that came with it. And let's see. Here's the hatch for it. This is the proper hatch. And it had been sitting somewhere where stuff was getting on, like a paint and body shop or something. I don't know, but we got this clean. Used a little bit of Windex, and then I had to use some brake clean to get the rest of this residue. I don't know what it is, but that's coming real clean. And it's fiberglass. The whole thing is fiberglass, and there's a seal here that was brittle, so we got to clean this out, and I got to find that proper seal. It doesn't seal for water, it just reduces the gap whenever you close the hatch, so it doesn't provide any kind of sealing for water. But it's in good shape. The defroster, I don't see any breaks in those strips back there, so that's good. This big old window, you're going to want a defroster on it. It'll be a lot easier to see out. Other than that other one, that's just terrible. Alright, I think that's it. Oh, let me show you my hood on my Suburban. I got me an organic paint job. You can see where that mold and mildew, so I got me a natural paint job. We're gonna have to sand that thing down to bare metal. Being covered up, water got up underneath there, but it was already bad anyway. I had to clean it with scrub and bubbles, believe it or not, to get that mildew off of it. But the clear coat's gone, and but the Suburban's going to be the first one to get painted. All right, that'll be it for this one. Until I see y'all next time, y'all have a good one.